Hello, hello, welcome back to the Spirit of Watercolor. Today, I want us to continue on our spiritual journey of painting together, but this is something that you can do to create success with your art and love what you're doing even more. And what it is it's about the kind of paint, watercolor paint that we use. So we're going to talk about professional artist watercolors. And there is a difference. There's, student grade or less expensive, more inexpensive watercolors. And, so I want to talk about why I recommend using professional watercolors. And this is going to be an example. And then we're going to go to the table and I'm going to swatch these and we'll talk about why professional watercolors make such a huge difference in the success of your watercolors. Here's my little travel pack, and it's very small. You may not be able to see it, but it says Sennelier, S-E-N-N-E-L-I-E-R. This is the one I take with me when I go outside to sketch and paint. It's Sennelier, it's pronounced. It's a French watercolor that was started in 1887, long time it's been around, and it's been used by some of our famous and well-known Impressionist painters, which I think is great nostalgia and another reason I really like these, but they're also improved from how they use them. So we'll talk about all that. Many people just go to Winsor & Newton paints, which are wonderful. I have some of those that I started with, and they're beautiful as well, and they're fine. But I'm going to talk about why any of these professional watercolors are so much more, create so much more success in your paintings than just using a student grade, even when you begin painting with watercolors. So join me at the table. We're going to swatch these. First I want to show you these before I go to the table, actually. This is a travel pack, which I ordered from Amazon, and you can do that. Or you can get smaller, like half pans. These ones, you can see here, my pack has a place where I can mix my paints on it. It's not very big, but there's separation so that they don't blend all in together. So my palettes kind of has 4 separate areas or pockets. This protects the paints in there from falling out or getting the paint that I've mixed on the tubes. And then the paints here are 12 colors, and they're yellows, reds, blues, greens, and earth tones. Okay, and a Payne's gray, which is kind of like the darkest color here, which this is their professional paints. I believe they have a student one you want to watch out for that's very similar to this, the student quality, less expensive. And you can do that if you want, but I recommend spending that extra little money, or a lot of money sometimes, depending on the brand, and then you have these. They're very concentrated, they last a long time, and it's worth the while to get the best quality paints. So let's go to the table now and let's look at these as we swatch them and talk about what they're made of and how they, and you can see just by looking at the paints, the beauty of the enhanced look that they will give to your paintings. Okay, so I'll see you over at the table. So here I am with my Stratford tablet here where I've been doing swatches, and I put Sennelier at the top. I redid this because the other one had one of the colors that's not in my Sennelier palette of paints here. That cerulean one was pretty, but what I want to do is put in the ones that are in that travel pack. So that you can see if you buy that particular pack what you get. This is the first color. I already applied it to make sure this was going to work, and that is the lemon yellow. And then I'm going to put in the next color, which is Sennelier yellow. Okay, so we're going to swatch each of these, and then I will probably fast forward it or just show you these after they're swatched so that we don't have to take all that time. But these will just show you how beautiful this particular professional color is. This brand, and I'm going to turn this so it's easy for me to do. This particular brand is one of my two most favorite ones that I use, and so I wanted to share that because, you know, it's good to have someone's, you know, so you can see this before you choose to buy this or try something else. You know, the first swatch was lemon yellow, and now I'm adding Sennelier yellow. Next is the French vermilion, which is a slightly warmer red. And then the Sennelier red, which is a more, I want to say, neutral red. And you can see how rich and concentrated these colors are with the added honey in them. They always had some in the binder, but even a little more now in the modern world. And they are much more rich and have a wonderful sheen. Next is Opera Rose, which is kind of like the Opera Pink. It's a hot pink. It's a beautiful color. Now we move to the blues. This is Phthalo blue, which I used a lot in the last two videos of painting the water, the river, Au Sable River. Check that out. I forgot to put ultramarine blue down, so I'll go back to that. But here's the beautiful phthalo green light. I used this in the foliage and trees in those paintings, or in that painting as well, I should say. There were sketches and then the actual finished painting. This is forest green. It's a beautiful green as well. It's deeper than and more dark in value. Somehow I missed ultramarine, so I put it here now after the greens. You'll find ultramarine in every brand. It's a very popular ultramarine blue with much beauty and great in skies, some sedimentation, just wonderful. Compare these with student grade if you can. If you have Cotman, which is a Winsor Newton student grade, or there's, you know, other student grade paints, you just have to read and see which one you have. They won't be as concentrated or rich in color, so you have to use a lot more paint. You know, your pigments just won't be as strong, so it's something to compare. However, this particular color, burnt sienna here, doesn't look as concentrated, and I don't know if I had it too watered down, but usually that's a much stronger color, so that one I might go to other brands for, but it's fine. You just have to add more or glaze more on. And now let's apply a warm sepia. It's a beautiful, rich, warm brown, but it's deep and rich, not as warm as the sienna. And finally, Payne's Gray, which is also in many palettes. We don't use black and watercolor, we usually mix, but this is a lovely dark gray, which you can mix into other colors to deepen them. Okay, so I labeled these so you can see them, and let's go up a little closer. So as you can see, once more we have lemon yellow, Sennelier yellow, French vermilion, Sennelier red, beautiful opera rose, phthalo blue. Down here is ultramarine blue, my bad, there. And then this, I want to say spring green, I call it there. This beautiful phthalo green light. And then forest green. And then our earthy colors are down here. So we have good old burnt sienna, and then sepia warm, or warm sepia, and then Payne's gray. And this is a beautiful Payne's gray. Some of them are more blue. This one has a real gray quality with just a touch of blue. So that's these beautiful LEA colors that are in this beautiful travel pack. Just wanted to share that with you. That this is a professional quality paint that is well worth the investment. And watch my videos to see the Sennelier paintings. I'll list below which videos that I have used these in. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed watching this and getting inspired to get some very high quality professional paints, which will give you great success with your paintings. And join me in the next video, and please like and subscribe, and we'll continue painting in the spirit of watercolor.